Hello YouTube, this is William. We're going to talk about this Woodsman's concept that I've introduced, or not introduced because it's in the prototype stage. This knife a few days ago. I want to expand on it a little bit further and make an announcement. This is about the grind. The blade shape is immaterial, but what I'm interested in is this differential grind, this scandy portion here next to the blade or the handle, and then it transfers into a saber. But the key is this portion is 11 to 12 degree angle. This is what a scandy is. And it also blends into the same degree angle in the saber, which is unusual. I haven't seen this before. That doesn't mean it's not out there somewhere. I just haven't seen it. So basically what I'm talking about is the primary bevel. That's the bevel before the edge. That's this portion here. The primary bevel is what is different. The cutting edge is the same angle throughout. Okay, I'm hoping that explains it. So you have an 11 to 12 degree angle for your scandy, and it transferred into the same 11 to 12 degree angle in this portion as well. With that said, this is a very fine edge. Okay, the steeper the angle, the finer the edge, the better it's going to cut. So you're going to need some good steel to do this, and a very good temper. Alright, so this is why I chose 01. Now, I have this one here that is 1095. I tried the same grind. I haven't tested it yet, but I don't think that it's going to hold up. Okay, I didn't have anything wide enough to test this or try this design before this video, and I wanted to show the abilities of this grind. It can transfer from a belt knife to a machete. Okay, it's going to be the same grind. This tip can do anything. It could be a drop point, it could be a spear point like this, or it could be a tanto, it could be anything. Okay, what I'm researching and what I'm trying to determine is if this grind, this 11 to 12 degree grind following all the way through, I want to know if it's, first of all, is it worth the effort on my part to do the grind? Because it's not easy. Or is it going to be beneficial to the woodsman? I mean, does it make camp chores, firecraft, game processing, does it make those chores easier? Feather sticks, those type of things. Is it easier to use this type of grind on something like that? And is it worth the added effort? Is basically what I'm looking for. I'm trying to figure out. Okay. With that said, I have made 5 prototypes that is going to be dispersed throughout the community, and I've already contacted those that's going to be playing a part in this, and they're going to do some tests, some field tests, and they're going to get back with me and let me know if this grind or this concept is something worth pursuing, or if this is a novelty thing and it's not beneficial. Okay, now these knives have a double stamp, so they're unique. Well, let me move the camera down and I'll show you what these knives what they look like. As you can see, these knives have a double stamp, if you can see it in the glare. 2 logo stamps on each one. Okay, and also I'm still working on the grind lines. I'm trying to get that worked out, so the grind lines on these knives is not exactly perfect. It's not where I want it to be yet, but the temper, the heat treat, the fit and finish of the handles and things like that, it is all top notch. Okay, it's just the grind lines that I'm not haven't dialed in yet. Okay, so but what I did, you can kind of compare these side by side here. This is the original prototype, of course. As you can see, I kind of eased this portion up a bit And here you still have that, if you angle the knife just right, you still have that steep angle there to bite into the wood, but it's going to be easier to sharpen. One of the things that I'm really interested in is this going to be user friendly as far as sharpening. Now, I have used the Easy Lap diamond rod. I've used ceramic rods on them. This is a flat Falcon-Even, and if you watch what you're doing, you can still use a regular stone with it. Okay. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I am on the Scandi. Right there, that is the Scandi. And if you just follow it through, all the way through, then it will sharpen the knife. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, those scratch marks, but I mean, it's that simple. You don't have to use a diamond rod on these new prototypes. You can use a flat stone as long as it's not a wide bench stone. Now, with that said, here's a wide bench stone. And if you watch what you're doing and use the edge, you can still use the bench stone. I'm using this portion here. So if you lay the knife flat, you can still use a bench stone. It's not as easy. It takes some practice, but it can be done. Now, somebody was made a comment that they thought it would be difficult to do something like that. Well, difficulty is relevant, okay? You got to understand that with practice, knowledge, then you can overcome difficulty and it will become easy, okay? So the more time you spend with it, the easier it's going to be. But the other question I had was, can you sharpen it with a rock? Well, you can sharpen it if you find the right rock. I don't have the right rocks. I don't have the round river rocks here. But if you took a Scandi, it's the same difference as taking a Scandi into the woods with you. If you can't sharpen a Scandi in the woods without your sharpening equipment, then you're not going to be able to sharpen this knife very well. But with that said, you can change this and put a micro bevel with any rock on the edge to get you by until you get home and replace this this true Scandi edge. So that's an option for you if you lose your sharpening equipment in the woods and you can only find a round rock, and the only way that you can get your knife sharp again is to use that as a micro bevel. That is a possibility. Okay, so that's another thing that these testing people is going to be testing, see how well that they can sharpen them in the field. The maintenance of them, how well do they cut, how well do they perform, durability on the edge. Is the edge going to chip or roll? I don't think it'll roll, but it possibly could chip because this portion here is very, very fine. Well, the entire edge is very fine, but that means that it cuts like a dream. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. After using this knife, I don't want to use anything else. But that's me. I want to see if everybody else feels the same way about it. I don't want people to think that I'm biased. I want an honest opinion from everybody who's going to receive this knife. Okay. So as you can tell here, the grind lines on this one is just a little bit different than this one. Okay. So kind of experimenting a little bit. See that bottom knife? You can see how that bevel, that final bevel, carries all the way through from the hilt to the tip. See that bright shiny part? So you may be seeing these knives on other people's channel as far as doing reviews and things like that, and so you'll kind of understand and know what this is about. These knives are still concept knives. Somebody asked me, when you're going to start selling them. I never stop selling. If you want to order this knife, then by all means I'll take your order. But again, I am not sold on it yet. Okay, I do know that it works for me. I know that that this is something that I would enjoy using and do enjoy using. But I want other people's opinion as well. Now, what you see on the table, this brown and black micarta, green is a little bit more expensive, but not much. I'll throw the green in there as well. So if you want a brown, a black, or a green handle, this is a basic model. And I don't want to say pricing because somebody 3 years from now is going to expect the same pricing. I get that all the time. They think that everything stays the same. Nothing goes up. But if you price steel today, what it was last week, last year, totally different. Handle material has gone up. Shipping costs has gone up. I mean, everything has gone up within just the past 6 months. There's also a tariff on steel right now. Whether that transfers into the knife market, I don't know. They're looking at 288% rise, a tariff in steel. That could affect us, folks. I mean, so what I did to offset that is I bought about $800 worth of steel Friday, trying to get ahead of this. So each time you place an order, I purchase the steel at that point. If for some reason I can't get the steel, then I'm going to have to do a refund and sit back and wait and see what's going to happen, because there's not enough markup in these knives for me to survive, and with steel costs going up like that. Okay, I'm just being honest with you folks. I did my taxes for the past 2 years, and at the most, after everything is said and done, all the belts are paid for, the sand belts, the electricity, the equipment, all of that. I get, for my personal use, less than 20%, or right at 20% off of each knife, and that's for about 10 to 12, it depends on the sheath, 14 hours of labor. So you're not going to get rich. This is something I enjoy doing. I love doing this stuff, and and that's the only reason I do it, is because I love doing it. I don't intend to get rich, but just kind of give you guys an idea of what we're facing as far as knife makers, and especially the smaller shops like myself, or whatever. It's kind of in the air right now. I don't know how this is going to shake out. But if you order a knife and you pay me the 50% deposit, that deposit goes toward your materials immediately at that point. That's the only way I can guarantee that I'm going to have the materials to do your knife, whether it be right now. I'm trying to get, I am caught up on knives as far as hitting my deadlines, but I have on my books right now about 12 months worth of work. So you can expect, if you order a knife, you're looking at least 10 to 12 months to get it. Okay, so now the price point today for a basic model and a basic leather belt sheath, that's just a no decoration, just a brown or a black leather belt sheath that goes on your belt. No loops except for the belt loop, but no additional loops or anything like that. You're looking at about $300 for one of these knives, basic models. Okay, and that's 01 tool steel with the dual grinds. Has 1/4 inch stainless steel pins. One micarta, one layer micarta. Okay, so that's what it is today. Don't expect this pricing 6 months from now. Don't expect this pricing a year from now. I don't know. Nothing goes down. So let's not kid ourselves. But everything could go way up. All right. So enough of me rambling. So if you see these knives on other people's channels, then you'll know what the story is. This is for me to get some information. to know if I'm onto something here, or if this is just a fad and it's a novelty and really not worth pursuing. That's the feedback I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a review of the knife quality. I know the quality is there. I know that the temper process is about as well as you can get anywhere in the world. I know the fit and finish on the handles is as good as you're going to get anywhere in the world. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the grind. Is this grind user friendly? Is this grind beneficial to a woodsman? And when I say woodsman, I'm talking campcraft that's making pot hangers, fire sticks, tent stakes. This is not a Sloyd knife. You're not going to carve a spoon, which you could, but I mean it's not as easy as if you used a Sloyd knife. But basic wood carving, like camp stakes or tent stakes, pot hangers, roasting sticks, those type of things, and also game prep, which I know that being a hunter myself, I know that this right here is going to be phenomenal with that drop point for game prep. So that's going to be a given, I think. But anyway, I've rambled enough. I'm really excited about this, but I want to see if anybody else is excited about it once they get it in their hands and start using it. Until the next one, you guys get out in the backyard, whittle on a stick, build a fire, roast a weenie, take a child with you, teach that child how to whittle on a stick and use a knife properly, and you do take plenty of band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.